Hey guys, Sundown here. This is gonna be my chapter review to Nanatsu no Taizai 222, Cursed Lovers. Now, this chapter was pretty decent. I mean, it was pretty slow moving. There wasn't much that actually happened, but we did get a confirmation where I think everybody, more or less everybody, I'm pretty sure I mentioned it last review. I thought it. The two people I mentioned in last review, they thought it as well. But Zeldris finally confirms that Elizabeth does indeed reincarnate every time she dies, with no recollection of any of her previous lives or any of her previous selves. So, but the issue I have with this was how Zeldris talks about it, how he responds to it. Because when he's talking with Elizabeth, she obviously doesn't have any recollection of that. She doesn't know she has this curse. So who inflicted the curse? Who inflicted the curse on Elizabeth, if even Zeldris was unsure of its existence? If it was the Demon King, surely Zeldris would know, because the Demon King would have told him. Actually, I think that has the Demon King been proclaimed dead? I think he might have been proclaimed dead at one point, but so maybe that's why Zeldris doesn't know, because Elizabeth might have been inflicted with the curse. Same with Meliodas, right before the death of the Demon King or something. So the Demon King might not have had time to tell Zeldris, but Zeldris basically it all boils down to even Zeldris didn't know whether the curse actually existed on Elizabeth, and Elizabeth does indeed reincarnate with no recollection of any of her previous selves. Now, I thought Elizabeth would be really pissed off about it. I thought she'd be like, "Oh my God, kind of Meliodas just sees me more of a duty. He just comes back every time. He just comes back every time I come back, just to kind of." Just because he liked my first incarnation, I'm not the same as my first incarnation, because every incarnation might be slightly different. But she's really happy about it. I mean, she later on in the chapter she starts crying tears of joy and things like that about. Damn, man, let me just put my phone on silent. But yeah, she's really happy about it, which is something I didn't think she would be. So right before the Zeldris' curse on Merlin is broken, he casts Elizabeth out. He does it. He goes objection, and then he casts out what's her name, Elizabeth, and he says, "Remember everything and know the true depth of your sin from back then." So the true depth of her sin will be how she probably Elizabeth and Galtha probably teamed up to seal away the Demon Clan, but it's going to be Elizabeth had something to do with sealing away the Demon Clan, and how she got Meliodas to convert to the dark side, to convert to the light side, even to go to the light side, to go to the good side. So that's going to be the depth of her sin, will be stealing away Meliodas from demonkind and leading to the Great War, and somehow sealing away the demons, who we still don't really know how that happened. We assume Galtha must have had some sort of idea. So that's going to be everything. But he also shouts at her, "Remember everything," as if that was going to make her remember everything. So he must have used some sort of some form of spell, some form of magic, to elicit a response in Elizabeth where she gains all of her previous lifetimes memories. I'm not sure if she does, but because later on in the chapter, Elizabeth's crying tears of joy, like I said, and she seems to have maybe attained memories of her past with Meliodas. You got pictures of Meliodas all in the back, but they're not pictures of Meliodas from like previous incarnations. There's that one where he's wearing a necklace. That's an incarnation of Elizabeth we saw. That's the current incarnation of Elizabeth. So they were all pictures that the current Elizabeth had seen and that we've seen. So it doesn't really suggest that she's attained memories of her past. But the way that Zeldris kind of used his objection finger and cast her out of that curse, and he said that line, it just seemed like a really weirdly translated line. I'm not sure. It probably means exactly that. That's probably what it was supposed to say. I just don't understand whether he allowed her to regain her memories, or whether he just said it like, "Go and learn about your past" or something. I don't know. So that was a bit of a weird one. I'm slightly confused about that aspect. But yeah, like I said, Elizabeth breaks Merlin out of her coma. Merlin thanks Escanor, but he's kind of recounting Arthur's. He's recounting that line where Merlin was like, "Arthur is my hope." Now, if any of the commandments have the commandment of allowing jealousy to manifest, or somehow getting your inner feelings to expose on the outside, and you to reveal your basically innermost desires and innermost like your hatred and things like that, that could really work in this situation against Escanor, because Escanor, his proud form, his day form, if when he hears that line or when he understands that line, he could be easily manipulated by one of the commandments if they had such a commandment where they basically incite his jealousy. But you never know. You never know what would work with Escanor and what wouldn't, because he's too much of a beast. They'd probably try and manipulate him, and he'd be like, "Oh, you're beneath me," and then just burn them or something. So you never know with Escanor, but it could just as well go that way. So, like I said, Elizabeth seems to maybe have attained memories of Meliodas, or maybe she was just revisiting memories she already has in her current state. And we then see who is accompanying Margaret to go and save Gilthunder. It's both Hendrickson and Dreyfus, which is basically an all-star team. You know, you can't mess up with that, especially because Vivian's the only person holding Gilthunder there. You'd assume Gilthunder would have kicked their ass by now, unless he's incapacitated. I think he might have been incapacitated by Vivian, but I can't really remember. So then we get the main part of the chapter for me, which was it was the main story progressing part of the chapter, which was the Sins are leaving for Camelot. And they're all in their armor, apart from Escanor and Merlin. Escanor's just in baggy clothing, and Merlin's in like this blackened skirt with like some sort of doublet. And so they're all leaving in their armor. All of them look cool. Ban looks awesome. Garth is wearing like a small version of his beefy form. He's got spikes on his shoulders. Looks pretty dope. Diane's wearing her armor. She's got like a shoulder guard and everything. And King looks probably one of the most dope, because he's got his helmet on as well, the one that Helbram gave him, so it looks pretty cool. Ban looks dope. Everyone looks pretty good. So they're leaving for Camelot, and Camelot, according to Merlin, is surrounded by dimensional distortion, which Merlin can't use her absolute cancel on. She can't cancel it out. However, this dimensional distortion around Camelot has this origin from in another city, about 250 miles away, I think they said. I can't remember, I didn't note it down. But that's where the origin of this distortion is, so that's where they're going first, and they're all trying to guess where it is, but Meliodas knows exactly where it is, and it's the city stronghold of Corand, 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 yeah, Corand. So, according to Meliodas, it was destroyed in a great massacre centuries ago, and King seems to know, and he seems to have heard of Corand before. He's like, I've heard of this city stronghold of Corand before. Where was it? What was it again? Corand. And he even asks Helbram, but Helbram was talking to Elaine at the time, so he doesn't respond or anything. But I have no idea what Corand is. It was destroyed in a great massacre centuries ago. The fact that Meliodas knows this, he suggests he's just aware of it, or he might have been near there or at the place at the time. So I have no idea what the city stronghold of Corand could be, but the fact that King knows about it as well suggests that it might play a very pivotal role in the story to come. Galtha also wants to stop by somewhere on the way to Camelot. He feels there's somewhere he needs to go. They're going southeast, and he feels that there's a place there he needs to check up on. I'm not quite sure where it is. Maybe, but it can't be anywhere that we know that Galtha's seen with Princess Nadia. Well, actually, it could be. It could be where they rode to on horseback that one night, but I'm not too sure. Was that southeast? So yeah, King knows about Corand, and then Ban asks Elizabeth to check up on Elaine. She seems to be a little bit dodgy, and the reason why is we figure out through the conversation between Helbram and what's her name, Elaine. She knows that Mericilla is awaiting them on their path to Camelot. Mericilla is the commandment of faith, the one that Escanor should have burnt alive and she broke in two, the one that Ban pulled 5 hearts from, the one that's been wrecked by pretty much 2 of the strongest sins at the moment, excluding Meliodas. And she's still alive, which, you know what, she's got balls if she's going to step up again after dealing with Escanor. Forget the fact that Ban broke her neck and tore out 5 of her hearts. She's stepping up after Escanor burnt her from the inside out. So props to her, you know, she's stepping up. For a commandment, that's what you'd expect. So Mericilla awaits them on their path. If you've forgotten her commandment, it was faith, and that's when it was bestowed on by the Demon King, as with all the commandments. And any who show faithlessness in her presence will have their eyes set ablaze, according to the wiki. I've forgotten whether we've actually seen her commandment. I'm not too sure, but their eyes set ablaze. I assume your eyes just start cooking in your skull. So yeah, it's a tasty commandment, but I can't remember if we've seen it occur. But yeah. So yeah, this chapter itself was slow moving. It was okay. Nothing really awesome happened. I mean, Zeldris confirmed the suspicions of many people. We see that they are indeed going to Camelot. They're going to the city stronghold of Corand. So it's a build up chapter once again. I'll give this about a 6.5, 7 maybe out of 10, maybe close to 6.5. But what's to come is what's going to be the good stuff. So when they go to Camelot and all that, I'm not sure what Corand is, considering King has heard of it, and considering there was a massacre there before. It suggests that it might have already been played into the story before, and it's just going by a different name, and we haven't heard it be called by Corand before. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys thought though. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you guys on. Actually, there's no Thursday chapter for One Piece, so next time I see you is the next time a Nanatsu no Taizai or Fairy Tail chapter comes out. So I'll see you guys then.